I would very much like to wake up one morning and very much do a reaction video agreeing with Republicans on anything. But we live in a time where, since Trump was the last leader of the Republican Party, and since he only served one term, he is still technically the leader of the party, regardless if he was impeached twice but never technically convicted by the Senate. So we have leaders like Ron Paul, who are up in 2022, and Kristi Noem of South Dakota, and Ron Desantis, especially, who, instead of being good leaders and spewing actual positive public safety information, no, they decide to go with the dangerous rhetoric from Trump to appease his base and to still get them to, or excuse me, to get the Trump voters to support them in their re-elections coming next year by spewing nonsense about COVID 19, about going to war with the CDC, resisting the CDC, resisting mask wearing, stuff like that. And so I say this to Ron Paul specifically. What happens when something worse than COVID 19 comes next? And because you have said stupid statements like resist anything from the CDC, that people don't listen because you told them not to listen. And then people are conflicted because you said, well, you said not to listen during COVID 19. How do we know what to believe now? Because that's very much what's going to happen in the future if Republicans still continue this nonsense. Because if we keep thinking that, it's not going to get any worse, please wake up, because we've already gone through polio. We are now at COVID 19. Make no mistake, it's something worse always does happen. History does repeat itself. And so we are going to need places like the CDC and science and the latest technology to give us the information and to give us the science to as a public safety and precautions on what to do to keep us safe. But no, we have these Republican leaders who, instead of being safe and precautious, they would rather go to war with members, or excuse me, certain sections of pretty much the government, which is just idiotic. And where does it come from? Trump himself. Because do you think any of the Bushes or the Cheneys or any other Republican leader before that would have ever gone to war with the CDC? No. So we got to wake up and enact term limits on Congress, especially because the rhetoric from Congress is getting more dangerous, and the only way to stop this is term limits. There's term limits in certain states for governors. It's next for Congress because Congress only is the only body of government that doesn't have term limits, and that's the only way to stop this madness. Thanks.